Hi, it's been a while. Um, I thought I'd give a little update because I do intend to come back to the channel at some point, but I mean, I might continue um, from now on, but thought I might want to tell you what's been going on. Let's see, I think the last time I updated, I'd lost about 25 pounds. And I was walking every day, doing generally the Noom recommended sort of calorie restriction diet. And it was working really well for me. And I kind of, right around the time that I stopped, I actually formally launched my business and got very busy. And so I just couldn't keep up with making videos and editing them with the business stuff. However, I managed to maintain the weight that I had lost for, I think it was April-ish, the last time I posted. And I maintained that because my original starting weight was 240 and I was at about 215 sort of when I finished, and I maintained at about that, like, right in that window for several months, and that was really kind of all I was aiming for at the time. It just wasn't like between trying to run a business and having a second job and living in a very, very stressful, tiny single bedroom apartment with most of our stuff in storage. That was the best I could do at the time. And then my husband changed jobs in the middle of the summer, and that was kind of stressful. And then we moved. We moved in with family, so we moved from a single bedroom tiny apartment that was like 540 square feet, I think, to a single bedroom period in someone else's house that is maybe, I don't know, what, 10 by 8 with our 50-pound dog. So this is that room. But kind of the bigger news and why I'm not really like talking super much about like where I'm at right now is in August, I found out I was pregnant, which was really exciting because Jim and I have been married for 5 years now. We'd been married for 4 and change when in August, because our anniversary is in October. So we've been married for over 5 years now, and we had been trying to get pregnant pretty much since we got married. So it was it was a surprise. While I was actually making the videos last spring, we were going through some treatments to see if that would help, and it didn't. And we gave up, and we're kind of praying about what the next steps were. And then suddenly, poof, right around the time that we realized Jim was going to have to change jobs, go figure, and that we would be moving into a smaller space was right when we found out. Interesting story, I guess, about the pregnancy. When I first found out about it, I tested early because one of the issues that they did discover with all the like fertility stuff that we've been going through was that I underproduce a certain hormone that's very necessary during pregnancy. And so the sooner you find out, the sooner you get on a supplement that makes it much safer. And so I was testing pretty early. I found out just right at 4 weeks. I went to get a blood test to confirm and see if I needed to get that supplement, and I did. So they got me on the supplement, and they said to come back in 2 days later for another blood test to make sure everything was going the way it was supposed to go, because in 48 hours at the beginning of your pregnancy, your hormones, a certain hormone is supposed to double every 48 hours. And so they said to come back 48 hours later to make sure it was doing that. So I went back. My first blood test was on a Monday. I went back on Wednesday, got a blood test, and they said, we're really sorry, but it looks like the baby stopped growing, probably like the day before. So, like my levels had barely changed. So they were like, this is just sort of a very cut and dry measurement. There's no like maybes with this kind of test. So they were like, call us when your next cycle starts and we'll see if we can do a new fertility treatment, because you tend to be a touch more fertile after an almost. So they were like, just call us when, but they were like, but stop taking the supplement that we gave you. And that was really hard, especially after all the time we've been waiting for this. And so Jim and I, we grieved, but we kept praying, and we kind of activated the phone tree at our church for others to pray for it. And I decided to just be grateful for whatever time I had with the baby, and to thank God for that opportunity, however short it would end up being, and to not stress until there was genuine, certain reason to stress, I guess. And a week later, nothing had happened, and I took a home test. And typically, if you're having the issue that they said that I was having, which they refer to as a chemical pregnancy, I refer to it as an early miscarriage, but they typically, your home tests, or the result is going to get lighter as time goes on. And it actually got darker, and I was like, okay, so nothing's happened for a week and the line is getting darker. So I called, I'd had my blood test with the fertility clinic, so I called my actual OB, or my gynecologist, and I just said, so this is what happened. Could I get a second opinion or another blood test or something? They said, absolutely, come on in. So I went in a little over a week later, I think it was on Thursday, and got a third blood test, and they got the results on Saturday. And bless the nurse's heart, it was her day off, and she was watching for the results on online all day, and she was really excited to call me and give me the results. And she said, looks like it's growing again, which they can't really explain. And then she said, but we need to wait 48 hours, do another blood test, see if it's growing correctly, because it's still early and it should double. So I got to wait another torturous 36 hours because of it was a weekend and the lab wasn't open or whatever. And then I got a text at work on Tuesday, I think, that it had grown the right amount. And it's so crazy because I have this whole miracle like on paper in these numbers that you have to know how to interpret, but it's just really cool. And so now I am in my 28th week, and so I'm in my third trimester, and it's pretty sure it's gonna happen, which is part of why I hesitated to make updates. I didn't really feel like doing regular updates and then having to post a bummer if something happened. But it's, we're doing really well so far, and I'm still just thanking God every day for every minute I get with this kicking little kid. We don't know the gender. We're gonna wait until we meet the kid. I've nicknamed it Old Timer though, from a book. And anyway, so in terms of weight, it's kind of fun though, because just a couple weeks ago they weighed me, and they've kind of stopped telling me my weight, but they tell me if it's like on schedule or whatever. But just a couple weeks ago I hit the weight that I had started at last year in January, right around this time. So my original starting weight was 240, and I hit 240 like very far into the second trimester of my pregnancy. And that was kind of fun to realize that, like, I'm supposed to be gaining weight right now. And that's within the normal range of the amount of weight I should gain for a first and, like, you know, for this particular pregnancy. I'm probably, you know, running a little high for, like, because I think it's supposed to be like an average of 30 pounds, and it's likely I'll gain a little bit more in the third trimester because the baby's going to be gaining like a pound every couple weeks or something like that. But like, overall, I feel like I'm keeping things under control. I'm not eating for two or anything like that. I haven't been terribly sick, and I haven't had terribly huge cravings. Other than yesterday, I went to Aldi, and they had all these like specialty cheeses, I think because the holidays just finished or something, and I totally like went crazy, and I bought like 9 kinds of cheese. Now 2 of them were for cooking, like shredded cheese for tacos and sandwich cheese for Jim's lunches. And the other ones, I'm freezing most of them. They were just really good deals. But I did put together like a charcuterie platter and shared it with my family, and we still put away over half of it after we did the platter. And I'll insert a picture here. If I can. But anyway, so I am currently probably in the range of about 243. But, you know, I'm also in my third trimester of pregnancy. So the weight loss journey is on hold for now. And I do intend to post updates and stuff like that about maintenance, because I do think it's very, very, very important for the health of my pregnancy that I not gain weight too fast. And I also think that it's important not to use pregnancy or nursing as an excuse to like overeat. But I also think it's really, really important, like in our culture, for people to give themselves a break in postpartum, especially in like what they call the 4th trimester, because like when you see people talking about, I need to lose this baby weight, like a few weeks after giving birth, it's like a lot of the weight you gain is like you actually produce more blood. You have like twice as much blood, or 2 to 3 times as much blood by the end of your pregnancy as a normal, like non-pregnant person. And in order to accommodate all of that blood, a bunch of your organs swell up and get bigger, including your uterus. And those organs don't just instantly shrink the minute that you have the baby. And so a lot of that like postpartum weight is like flesh, not fat. And it's really important that you give your body the time that it needs to adjust, which is about the length of time that it took to start getting bigger in the first place, which is like 3 months or so. So I'm due in April. So my expectation is that I will start really paying attention to like the weight that I need to lose in, let's see, April, May, June, like August, September, when it's been about a year, is when I'll really start paying attention to like whether I have baby weight to lose or whether it's just like 4th trimester, let your body adjust and get used to the new sleep pattern and nursing and everything else. So I'm going to try to, so this blog will be a little different for the next 8 or so months. And then depending on where I'm at with that, it'll be different yet again, because I'll be doing weight loss not only as a entrepreneur and as a pastry chef with a sweet tooth who loves carbs, but also as a new mom with a child that I will be navigating exercise and diet around. So maybe that'll make it all that much more relatable to some of the people who see this. I hope that it doesn't like become somehow less relatable to those who are not going through the same things. But this is just kind of what my story has become, which I'm really happy about. The other things we'll be dealing with is we are staying in this one room so that we can save up our down payment, because we're paying less rent here, so that we can buy a house. And with a series of things that we probably should have learned about house purchases earlier, Jim may be changing jobs yet again. He's actually he's like an incredibly stable worker. We just keep having these circumstances make it so that he needs to look for another job. So I'm hoping this will be the last job change for several years. But we do have looming the sometime in the next 3 months, we will be having a baby, changing jobs, and starting to house hunt, and then buying a house probably almost immediately after having the baby. So it's going to be a very transitional few months. I may shift this this channel into more of a vlogging channel for the next 8 months or 7 or 8 months, and then it may just sort of become a little of both, where like weight loss will still be relevant and a part of the story, but it may become a little bit more of just us getting through all this stuff, because I think frankly it's kind of relevant to talk about what weight loss looks like when life happens. And so I'm still running a business, which is actually starting to gear up now that it's been like kind of getting its foundation set for the last 8 months or so. So it's going to be an exciting year. I hope that you guys will join me and continue. And yeah, I really look forward to, and I guess I should say today is January 14th, in case you're trying to like track with stuff like that. I will not be broadcasting the exact birth date. I think that's not very secure. And I will not be broadcasting the baby's name, but I'll probably be mentioning at some point that it happened sometime after it happens. But yeah, so for the next several months, this will be a vlog with recipes occasionally and kind of updates just on my health and stuff. I actually have the gestational glucose test coming up in a couple weeks, and I'm very curious to see how that goes. It's actually something I've been nervous about, and I'm slightly less nervous about it because I lost that 25 pounds before I got pregnant. But it's basically like to find out if you have gestational diabetes. So if I end up having that, that may be a new twist. I really hope I don't. I may do another update soon, like later this week, talking about my exercise during pregnancy and what I've been doing specifically for that. But I just wanted to give you this update. This is where I'm at. So right now I'm somewhere in the 240s, but thrilled about it. But prior to that, I had managed to maintain pretty much right at 215, which was what I had lost to for April, May, June, July, August. So for 4 months before I got pregnant, and really 5 months. I didn't start gaining weight right away. But anyway, so I hope you'll enjoy the journey.